Hi everyone, my name's Linda Fisher. This is my final semester with the management program in an area of concentration of organizational leadership. I work for the State of Tennessee Department of Human Services, Division of Rehabilitation Services, and under that umbrella, our program is the Community Services Unit. We have 17 teams based across the state of Tennessee. We're divided basically into the three grand regions of East, Middle, and West, but we really don't recognize borders. There are 5 of us who are area managers, and we have a Community Services Unit network director. My proposal is going to be based on the Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, Control, or DMAIC process. And the reason for that is the past year we changed all of our services and all of our positions and completely transformed our program. We went from being a center-based service provider to being a community-based provider. And even though we are within the Division of Rehabilitation Services, we are considered kind of an internal service provider that the vocational rehabilitation counselors or pre-employment transition specialists refer to. The changes that happened over this past year were vast, and we, during that time, also got a new case management system for all of the VR staff to use. In that system currently, we don't have any of our tracking mechanisms. So in order for us to know who's referring to us, how many people we're working with, what our team members are doing in the community, what kind of activities, what kind of presentations, outreach, that sort of thing, for us to know what the community projects that they're working on are, and anything else really. All of our team members track that individually. We have monthly progress reports. Those progress reports go to each of their area managers, and then the area managers then kind of put all of that together for their area and submit another report to the network director. And then so on and so on. The network director has to compile that for all of us and send it on up the leadership chain. So none of that works super well for us. And the reason for that is there's a lot of time and energy that could be spent better serving our customers and out in the community than sitting behind a desk or computer monitor and tracking these things manually. So my proposal is going to look at how to problem solve our current tracking methods. We want to figure out exactly what information we really need and want to report. We report not just to the state, but also we have the federal program of the Rehabilitation Services Administration that watches over everything that our agency does. And since we're part of that, we want to report things that will help our programs to succeed and to look good when they report to RSA, as well as to our state leadership team. So how to do this would be streamlined. And within this process, I will do the steps in terms of I will identify the problem by creating a flowchart or something similar to outline what we are doing now. That will help me identify better what the problem is in this process because I'll see where the overlap is, if there's overlap, and if we're all doing the same thing or have different things that we're reporting. I know we're reporting differently across our areas. So that will help with the first piece of identifying the problem, then, or defining the problem. I'm going to look at measuring what we need to measure. So to do that, I'll be working with my network director and the other area managers and potentially other staff or other program agency staff to identify exactly what we need to report and what that needs to look like, with the goal of developing a tool for us to go back and capture the data for the past year and then to use it for the coming year in order to make sure exactly what we need to track. Once that happens, then we can turn around and request that our new tracking system be integrated into our electronic case management system, which is called Aware. Right now, the VR counselors have their forms in there, but really all we have is a service module where they send us authorizations and we put in case notes. What we need is a way for our staff to be able to pull up the information that they need and track it that way without having to keep separate spreadsheets and different ways of documenting it, and then trying to sort through it all and make sense of it. So, to improve that process, we will, like I said, obtain data and analyze that data to see um, how it could be better captured and then better reported. And then I will look at how to streamline the process, make it more pivotal, and actually say what it needs to say versus all the kind of narrative. Um, I don't want to say fluff because it's all important. I need to know what my team's doing, and I'm usually with them a lot of the times that they're doing these activities, but it is a little bit of fluff because we do a lot of qualitative things that you can't really use hard numbers for. So there's got to be a way to capture both the numbers and the qualitative piece. So that's what I'm going to be looking at, and then making recommendations that hopefully we can actually use in our program and also be able to use for my proposal and my final project. My problem is being an organizational leadership person, I'm not as familiar with the DMAIC method as maybe some of the others are, but I have kind of walked through it with one of my classes and it does apply to this problem. So that's the system I want to use. I would love to hear feedback on how this will or won't potentially fit into this design. I think that it will. I know that I have, the problem. I can analyze the current method. I can look at improving that method, and I can offer some deliverables at the end that will hopefully transform the way we're doing our reporting. I know there are holes I'm not seeing. I know there's some issues. I'm going to be looking at cost analysis just in terms of how much we would save time-wise, getting back our staff being able to work with the people they need to be working with and being out making community partners instead of stuck manually recording those things, and also saving us time because then we won't have to be including all of these things in our monthly reports that our director has to sort through. Issues, concerns. I would love any kind of feedback, especially from folks that have used this method. I've walked through it a time or two, and our agency actually uses it behind the scenes for a lot of different things. So anyway, feedback is welcome, and I'm excited to get started and hopefully provide something that works on multiple levels. Thanks.